Audio Jungle. Audio.
Hello, welcome to The Woman in You. I've got pride, I have potentials, I have class, and I am special. Joy Uche is my name, and I'm glad to have you join me on another interesting outing on the program, The Woman in You. You know what? Every woman is wonderful. Every woman is outstanding. Every woman is marvelous, adorable, and nice, and should be treated that way. But unfortunately, some of us women have lost so much confidence in ourselves, and that's why we bring this program your way every week, just to showcase the worth of every woman. And today, we have an adorable woman indeed with us on the show. She is a personality you like to want to meet any day, anytime, young and smart, beautiful. She is adulting. She is a model, international model at that. She is a voice-over artist, an inspirational speaker. She is a queen indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, join me. Make welcome to the program, The Woman in You, Miss Ecowas, Nigeria, and the person of Uzogele Ifoma and Kim Onyekbe. Hello dear, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm very well, thank you.
Good to have you on our show.
Feels good to be here.
Ifoma Uzogele and Kim
Onyekbe.
Onyekbe.
That's
okay. Let's get to meet you. Who really is Ifoma Uzogele and Kim Onyekbe?
I'm a 20-year-old model. I'm a motivational speaker and a voiceover artist. I am from Delta State, Ikukwagbo, Ika to be precise. I'm from a learned, principled family of 6. I'm the last child. I'm a strong, confident, passionate lady who really aspires to make an impact in the world. A student aspiring to be a great lawyer. That's me.
Wow, that's nice. And now, if I grew up with this strong passion, being who you are today, so how was growing up? How was life growing up? Being back, remember Lane right now. I say you're 20 years, also 20 years ago, growing up and all of that.
Yeah.
So where did you grow up actually?
I born and raised in Lagos State.
So how was life growing up?
Life was good because despite the way it was, I would still say it was good because everything, all the experiences, both good and bad, made me who I am today. So I would say my life began in JSS1 secondary school. The early part of secondary school, I wasn't so serious. I was so nonchalant to work, to school. You know, I just was always waking up, going to school, coming back. I was so lost, didn't really find myself. I performed poorly in my academics. And fortunately for me, I discovered myself. That's one thing I always tell people, that self-discovery is very important and it only leads you to success. So I discovered myself and I am who I am today. I graduated as the head girl of my secondary school. I started doing things I thought I wouldn't normally do, and that has influenced my person today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as a young girl, even while you were not that focused or whatever, I know you must have had a dream what you actually want to be in life in future, because every little child does. You ask them, oh, I want to be a doctor, what do you want to be? I want to be a lawyer, what do you want to be? So what were your dreams as a young girl?
Okay, I've always dreamed to be a powerful lawyer, and another of my dreams is I'm very much about beauty and femininity, and I've always wanted to promote beauty and femininity. Also supporting people, empowering women, and making them know that they can be whoever they want to be. That is a speaker, a motivational speaker, to drag people, make them wake up, awaken buried dreams, and make people still dream. That's what I've always wanted, to the right platform to be able to do these things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can say that you're actually pursuing your dream somehow, because here you're reading law.
I
At the
am.
university presently, you've always wanted to be a lawyer.
Yes.
So you're working towards that dream still
I'm
to
working
achieve
towards
it.
that
Today you are Miss Ecowas Nigeria. How did you emerge as Miss Ecowas Nigeria? How did it all start, as a matter of fact? You never told me you wanted to be a queen. So how did it start?
Well, like I said, I've always loved beauty and femininity.
Okay.
I've always wanted to show myself that yes, this is me, I can do this. And while I was waiting for admission into the university, I just decided to go into the pageant.
Okay.
I never felt like it was the right time, but really in life you can never be too prepared for things like this. And then I went on. This is my first pageant ever, and it came out like this, and I'm super excited and grateful for the opportunity, because this is a very fantastic platform for me to do the things I really wish to do.
Wow, that's nice.
Thank you.
So, how long ago were you made Miss Ecowas Nigeria?
The competition was October last year, and I was crowned Miss Ecowas Nigeria on the 21st of October.
So roughly 3 months ago, so we're talking
Yeah,
about.
let's say 2 months.
2 months
Yeah,
plus.
2 months plus.
Okay. And so far, I want to believe you haven't had time to come over to Delta State to
No,
let
I
us know.
haven't.
I want to believe you haven't actually had enough time. That's why you've not come to Delta all this while since then.
Yeah, so you know how this pageant works. You're not exactly free for a year. You're now represented by the body, the organizers and the brand, the Silverbird Group. So, immediately you're crowned Miss Ecowas, that title. There are a couple of things you have to meet up, there are a couple of things you have to do. And the beginning part, I had a lot of things I had to do. That's why I wasn't able to come to my state.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're glad to have you in Delta State.
I'm happy
now,
to be here.
and we're hoping perhaps you may have the opportunity to meet with His Excellency the Governor.
Hopefully.
So, okay, because you're proudly Deltan,
Yes.
and we're all proud to have you as Miss Ecowas Nigeria, one of our own daughter. Okay, as Miss Ecowas of Nigeria, what are your duties?
Okay, so I wouldn't exactly say as Miss Ecowas Nigeria, you are to do this, you are to do that. But I can say that you already know that you're a role model and people are looking at you, and you have to impact positively. Then you have the desires, what you want to do, things you wanted to do before getting into the pageants and before becoming the Miss Ecowas. I have 3 projects I intend on doing.
Now let's look at women. Now the program is basically about women. We needed to go into Ecowas states because you're Miss Ecowas, but let's look at what the program is really talking about now. A lot of our women have lost confidence in themselves, like I did say when I introduced. A lot of women don't believe they are queens as it is, But we need to encourage ourselves to believe in ourselves, to believe that we can achieve whatever dreams that we have, in our hearts to want to achieve. Whatever we believe in, it can come to pass if we put our minds to it. We have a lot that we can do as women. So on this program, we talk to women to believe in themselves. Now we have a lot of women. We want to look at the younger ladies right now, because you are very young as well. Have a lot of your age mates that do things that will make you to want to believe that they've lost confidence in themselves. with your good office as Miss Ecowas, young and pretty. With your good office as Miss Ecowas, what can you do to take off the streets young beautiful ladies that hang out there always?
Well, I cannot exactly say I can do much, especially without support, but I can only advise. I mean, would I say it's quite sad that these women feel like they have no choice. You know, because of how hard life could be, you just want to find an easy way, and you just feel like, okay, yeah, because this is a way I can do this. You know, it's very easy, no stress, and then you go into that. I wouldn't blame them, honestly, because it could be very, very hard, but irrespective of the fact that it's quite hard, it's also very, very wrong. I mean, there's a lot you can do. That is why I always talk about self-discovery. Find yourself. In the process of self-discovery, there are plenty of things you start to realize that, okay, yes, I can actually do this, I can actually do that. Why don't you try to go into that than doing something, making a living from something dignifying, you know, instead of going into something with no dignity and will leave a mark on you. There's always something you can do. There's always something. You just need to try. People have this mentality. I always say this, that one of the reasons why these women feel like they cannot do it is because of the mentality they have. Failure begins with disbelief in yourself. So when you do not believe in yourself, I don't expect any woman that doesn't believe in herself to try to do whatever, you know, to try to be something. So the first thing you have to do in this, I say it's a journey, but you have to first discover yourself. You have to first tell yourself that you can do whatever you want to do. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm not saying that it's gonna come easy, but it's better to just try. So another reason why people choose to go in the easy line, you know, even if it's not dignifying, is because they're very impatient. Now, the journey to success is you need diligence, you need hard work, you need to be consistent before you get there. Now, many women just want to make money, you know, and the ones that are not able to go into this, the ones that do not even have this mentality of wanting to make money, are just there. They don't even want to try or put any efforts to, you know, being something. So I just want to tell every woman out there that you are strong, you are brave, you are strong, you can be whoever you want to be. Even if you have to hawk, or you have to, it takes a lot of work, whatever you want to do, you don't have to move on the streets. That's not life. That's not life. Okay. It's not dignifying at all.
Alright, not dignifying at all. Now let's look at what are your plans as Miss Ecowas of Nigeria today? What are those plans you have for the young ones?
First of all, I have 3 projects I plan on carrying on, and the first one is Sent from Heaven. Sent from Heaven is not really about helping the young people, and it's actually about charity, you know, supporting people and giving them hope. And then the one which is really about these young women, young students, young people is this is how the project is going to work. I'm going to go to schools, secondary schools especially, to speak to these students on finding themselves. The name of the project is Choosing God to Victory. The second project is the one really about helping younger ones, and it's about reaching out to schools to speak to the students on, you know, better planning themselves, believing in themselves, and knowing they can do whatever they want to do. There's so many students who feel like because of their circumstance they are so limited, but your limitations do not define you. You can say today that, look, I want to be this, and if you put your mind, you're definitely going to achieve it. So I want to use, really, because I'm a speaker, so going to these schools to speak to them about keeping on track, finding themselves, giving them hope, making them know that you can do whatever you want to do. That's one thing I'm also gonna do. And the third one is the therapy. That's the last project, and I hope on doing that's gonna be towards the end of my tenure. It's about victims. I don't know if I'm going to talk about this one, but okay. It's about victims speaking. Okay, so the therapy is just how it sounds. I'm going to work with a professional therapist that would be willing to attend to people that feel broken. Just to make them feel alive again, and just to heal them, to keep them back on their race, on their journey to becoming someone.
Okay, those are 3 projects you plan to want to carry out for the period that you reign as Miss Ecowas of Nigeria. Now, how many years are we talking about here?
How many years what?
How long do you have to serve?
Okay, it's a year.
It's a year. It's a yearly thing.
It's a yearly thing, and all my projects, I feel like it's actually, I cannot do everything within the space of 1 year.
But you're going to do what you can do.
I'm going to do what I can do for the time that I have.
And you've been Miss Ecowas of Nigeria for like 2 months plus.
2 months.
So far, what have you been able to do for the 2 months plus? Planning
I've been, because I cannot just go into my projects, I cannot just go into these without planning. So I can say that I have already started, but I'm starting with planning and reaching out, telling the schools, informing them that this is what is going to happen. So this first early stage is for planning.
Okay.
That's what I've been doing.
All right. So I will ask, what drives a person? What motivates you in doing what you do?
In this life, I always tell my family, my sister, that because I want to get to that position where I would be so influential and make a change, my future me drives me. My destination drives me. My purpose drives me. Where I see myself in 10 years' time, I'm like, oh, this is where I'm going to be. So what am I doing? It just only keeps me going. I just want to really make a change, make an impact in this world. That's one thing that keeps me going.
Okay. What plans have you concerning gender violence, gender issues? Have you any plans towards that?
I have none towards that yet, but I'm hoping to see on that, look on that.
Okay.
Yes, I'm hoping.
Alright, that's one. Then what about discrimination against women? What do you think about discrimination against women? In very many sectors or so, there's this bias. When you just say it's a woman that's sitting there, it's like, people are like, woman, the woman thing. Women are beginning to stand up for themselves right now. Women are beginning to get into almost every sector of the economy. You find women there. But what advice would you give to younger ladies like you that vie for some positions and just believe sometimes you're discouraged? You just feel like it's made only for men. So how do you look at discrimination against women?
Someone asked me this question one time, and this is what I told the person. Yes, women are the weakest sex.
Do you agree to that?
I not exactly weak, but God made us, according to the Bible, and we just know that they are physically, weaker than men. But that doesn't mean they are less, mentally. It doesn't apply to mentality, emotional strength, and every other thing. So something I would say about gender discrimination is, I do not believe we are very, very equal. When women are doing, sorry, I do not believe in we're exactly equal. But I feel like to a extent, we can do as much as the men can do. The thing is, I remember when I was having a conversation with this young man in politics, and I was talking about how, oh, there are less women in politics. And he was like, yeah, because women are weak, and you know, all of that. I'm like, you don't say things like that. Why? Because this isn't about the physical strength or what's be. There's so many, and I told him, like, look, there's so many things women can do. Women, you can be. We have great doctors. We have great female doctors. We have great scientists that are women. We have whatever it may be. And as time goes by, as time goes on, we're seeing more things. We're starting to speak for ourselves. We're starting to discover more. You know, we're starting to do more things in the society. There's nothing. We cannot say that women are in. People say women are not that competent as much as men are, but if we keep having that mentality, it will only keep dragging these women down. Okay. It will only keep dragging the men.
All right. So I want to believe with your statement, what you just said right now. I want to believe you believe in women in politics. You believe that, and you agree with me that women can do just as much as the men can do what they can do in politics. And it's a political era right now. The election's just around the corner. What if you asked to come, you're Miss Ecowas today, what if you asked to come and become the president of this country? How do you look at that?
It's a beautiful thing to be the president of this country, knowing, especially when you know the things you want to do and you really will do them. But I'm not exactly interested in politics. But if I were to be the president, I mean, look at Nigeria. There's a lot of people always come and say, oh, this is what I want to do, this is what I want. But when they get into power, they just misbehave. So if I were to be the president of this country, it's going to be a lot, because Nigeria, how we've only taken one step forward and 8 steps backwards. So if I were to be the president of Nigeria, I mean, first of all, it's not going to be easy, because I can say that Nigeria has really gone down. You know, taking 1 step forward and 10 steps backwards. So it's going to be a lot for me. So if I were to be offered that position to be the president, I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it, because it doesn't take just the president to be. It doesn't just take the president's power and what it will do to make a better Nigeria, but it takes the president and the citizens. Now, I'm going to have to reach out, talk to my citizens, because if I were to be the president of Nigeria, there's so many sectors I'm going to visit. First of all, healthcare. In every country, I feel like it's very necessary for there to be healthcare, good healthcare, because we must live, and everybody, even if you are not rich, even if you're not financially capable of doing some things, at least healthcare should be provided. You should live, you must survive. And another thing is the area of education. There aren't so many schools where we have where we can just go learn and come back. There's always payment, we always have to pay for these things. And that's one thing, whenever I see some very smart students, and I'm like, this person needs to be in school, but there is no money. So that's one thing I'm also going to do, enough schools for these people to learn, because that's the key to success.
Okay, so we're looking at healthcare and education majorly as it is.
And most importantly, security. Security. Okay. Everyone in Nigeria now is living in fear. Both the rich, both the poor, and it doesn't make any sense. Why can't I just go from one place to another and feel like, yes, I'm going to come back to my house? So that's one thing that it's wrong for citizens to be living in their country, living in fear. It's terrible. So with that power, being the president of Nigeria, the first and foremost thing I'm going to do is in the area of security. We all have to be safe.
All right, we need security, very, very important as it is now. Miss Ecowas Nigeria, she's here with us talking, and we know that Ecowas is headquartered in Nigeria here at the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. And not just Miss Ecowas, so we were wishing and hoping and believing you're going to go above just being Miss Ecowas and rule in a country, because I can see it all in you. The passion to want to do this, the passion to want to get up there and bring about some changes. Now let's talk about the girl child empowerment. During your tenure as Miss Ecowas of Nigeria, have you any plans looking towards girl child empowerment?
Well, honestly, there are only a few things I can reach out, I can say, I can do, but I mean that is also a necessary and important thing, empowering the girl child. But I cannot by myself say that I can do that alone. So I'll need the help of some other people, support from other people to empower this the girl child.
Now, a lot of our young ladies have believed that life is more of a bed of roses outside the shores of Nigeria. So they can go through any means to want to get out of Nigeria. And we've lost a lot of them on the Mediterranean. A lot of them have gone through hardship and torture in the hands of men, even outside this country, because they're trying to want to run away, seeking for greener pastures. Now, as a queen, Miss Ecowas of Nigeria, young and vibrant, what would be your advice to such young ladies?
If you feel like you cannot make it in Nigeria, why do you feel like you can make it in another country? Now, I don't know why people always feel like, yes, if outside Nigeria there's always going to be, it's much better, but it's not better. It's not better. It's still about you and what you can do, and the location doesn't matter. If you can say that, if you're a very hardworking person and you have a goal and you're goal driven, what are you going to do there? Why do you have to start there? Why can't you start here? So it's really not about the location, or although people say that, oh, it's better outside, but only a few people are lucky. Only a few people are lucky. So why do you really have to? You don't have to go outside to look for things. And then there's some people who have actually traveled, who want to go outside the country because they are talented, they can do some things, and they just go there. I want to talk about brain drain, brain drain. There's some people who want to invest more in the outside countries, but why can't you do that here? You're a Nigerian, you have the talent. It's, staying in your country to do these things only makes the country better. It only makes the country better. So you don't have to travel, you don't need your location, you don't need to change your location. You don't have to travel outside the country because you feel like, yes, it's going to be better outside. It's really, really about you, who you are, and what you can do. Why don't you just start here? Why don't you start here?
Okay, that's good. All right, I've been speaking with Miss Ecowas Nigeria and the person of Uzorele Ifoma Nkem Onyekbe. And she's talked to us a lot even about her plans and what she intends to do for the 1-year tenure that she will reign as Miss Ecowas Nigeria. So just before we let you out of this show, let's get your advice to women and girls out there.
First of all, you have to believe in yourself. Throw away the mentality of you need a level of money or financial support to get somewhere. You need to believe in yourself. You need to discover yourself and be contented. You have to be contented. Thank you.
Okay, you need to believe in yourself. You need to discover yourself, yes, and be contented. That's her last words, and I want to as well lend my voice to that. That's exactly what you need to be able to make it in this life. My womanhood is my pride. I've got pride, I've got potentials, I have class, and I am special. Joy Uche is my name, and speaking with Miss Ecowas Nigeria has been a beautiful time. I've had fun talking with her, young and vibrant and beautiful as she is. She is today Miss Ecowas of Nigeria. Why do you think you cannot achieve that which you believe in? You can be whatever you dream about or want to be in this life, sister. You're 100% that's queen. Believe in yourself. The program returns next week, so join us when we come back. But until then, continue to believe in yourself. My womanhood is my pride. Take pride in your womanhood. I'll see you next week. Stay blessed.
Audio Jungle.